Hey, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua by Hashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostle Nelson Great Millstone, who rule well. And peace and blessing to you, brothers, pushing truth throughout the 4 winds. So today, just going over great leadership, great character, and things of that nature. You know, just want to speak on how I came into the knowledge of the truth, you know, and what plays a major part in that the role of everything is the spirit leading and just basically understanding being led properly. Okay, so I caught wind of the truth around 2008, and it was actually me. I was driving trucks at the time, so it was an Edomite woman basically going into who we truly were, who we truly are. You know, so it's 3 in the morning and I'm watching it, and it really was fascinating, you know. And then just digging a little more into all of that, I was kind of led down a road of seeing GOCC. You know, for a few months I kind of watched GOCC, but it never really, spiritually, like the hooks never really sank into me. You know, I was intrigued by the truth of who we truly are because I always knew something wasn't right. I was always raised in a church, and I always had questions on certain things, and it's just like, I just don't get it. You know, so a little time passed, and I kind of seen more groups. I seen ISUPK, and I just saw the militant role of them. That kind of like swayed me a little bit away from them. You know, I kind of like the thought of standing up and fighting for yourself, but it just didn't catch me in the spirit. And then I saw a video where GMS and ISUPK came face to face. I remember this video, and it was Elder Apostle Tahar, and I remember him speaking. I don't know if it was Johanna, but I remember them actually face to face, you know. So I was like, you know what, I've seen IUIC, no, Salaki, I seen GOCC, I seen ISUPK, so let me see what this other group is talking about, you know. So I start watching their page, and from jump, like the spirit was like, this is the one, this is the one. So you know, I kind of was still going down roads and like certain areas of like just learning more. It was a guy in Houston I was kind of following as well. And I ran into a guy from IUIC in the gym I was going to. You know, he was trying to basically say some things, and he was telling me some things, and like we were just kind of like talking. But the little knowledge I learned from watching Great Millstone, it wasn't lining up with some of the things he was saying. And I kind of was like, yeah, I didn't really like the way he was moving and the way the spirit had me receive him. It was kind of like a push off. So I was like, So going on further and further, and just looking at everything, and I was just like, man, decisions have to be made. So some of the groups I was watching, but I was like slowly veering more towards Great Millstone, you know what I'm saying? And it was just over time, everybody else got weeded out, you know. And it was just something about those brother spirits, you know. One of the main groups I would always watch, besides the elders page, it would be it was Great Millstone, it was Dallas, and it was the brothers, I think, in it's California. I forgot which one it was though. But man, I remember they they were debating some Mormons. And that was like one of my favorite videos. So I would always go to them and watch videos in Dallas as well. You know, but I seen great leadership, and that's kind of what I wanted to speak on. You know, Salakia for the rant, but this is just kind of giving a little small introduction on speaking on great leaders. You know, this is Proverbs 11 and 14. It says, where no counsel is, the people fall, but in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. You know, and watching these brothers speak and watching these elders and apostles speak, it just had a sense of they were about business. You know, it was like growing up in a church and seeing, even though it was false, I saw people speak firmly. I saw them, they were inviting, but they also like had grounds that they stood on, like, we're not going to move from these grounds. You know, and that's why one thing I loved about watching Great Millstone videos, you know. And you can never pretend, you know, when you're dealing in the spirit. You know, this is Psalm 78, 71. It says, from following the ooze, great with young, brought him to feed Jacob his people, and Israel his inheritance. So he fed them according to the integrity of his heart, and guided them by the skillfulness of his hands. And even while I was in Great Millstone, you know, it was just the love of those brothers, the integrity, and the willingness to tell you you were wrong. You know, the willingness to stand firmly and not sugarcoat nothing. That shows great leadership, you know. And I love that they came with a mindset of not being overly righteous. You know, the glass was always half and half. Like, brothers would know when to be abased and know when to be abound. You know what I'm saying? And I could say one thing from my experience in being there. The leaderships, the brothers, amazing. You know, love those brothers. Real talk, I love those brothers. And another thing was how they just were always real, you know. And being out of Great Millstone for 5 years, I can say one thing: that spirit of those brothers, it never left me. You know, like the way they taught, like me receiving everything. It's other guys, and this is why I'm making this video, really and truly, is because seeing a lot of things progress in the land of Israel, in the world of Israel, so to say. It's got guys out there saying they're Yahweh Shai now. It's got guys out there doing all kinds of crazy things, but I noticed one thing about Great Millstone is they stick to the script. You know, they stick to the script. That's where the truth is. And just my observation, people are going to say what they want to say. That's my observation. That's where the truth lies. 100%. That's where the truth lies. So this is just me basically giving an overview of just my perception of the walk according to just Israel, just our walk, you know, and how we receive things. This is just my observation, you know, just basically a little rant, you know, not nothing too heavy, but with that, I want to say shalom.